Start recording. Hello there. Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock. Paul, are you there? Is anybody else there? Early to the party. And it is a moment of clarity. There you go. So rather than the shack like we had this morning, we're coming back in for another session on those wonderful reflections. A little bit of a craft along, a little bit of a shop along, a little bit of having a look at some products and putting them through their paces and hanging out on a Wednesday evening together. It'll be interesting to see how many of us congregate in the evening as opposed to the morning. These glasses are absolutely filthy. It's a good job we're here early. I'll just get my my glass cleaner out. Million uses. Come on in. I know we're early. It's good to have your company. I get fed up with the telly, don't you? Yeah, sitting there every night. It's not good for your back. It's not good for your posture. Come on in. And yeah, we've got loads to show you. We'll have a little recap what we did on Friday. I mean, if you didn't see Friday when we were together at 3 o'clock, we looked at these lovely reflection masks that have blown the doors off. They've been very popular. And because we sold so many of them, I was a little bit concerned that we wouldn't get them out in time. And that's why we decided to have a second go, another little craft along session this evening, so that if we couldn't get them out in time to you, then we've certainly got them out in time for you today. So come on in. And the whole idea of a moment of clarity, it's great to have your company, come on in. The whole idea of the moment of clarity is, as opposed to the shack, which is more zen, right? The moment of clarity is more, like going to the NEC and having a look at the stand. And so we've changed it up a little bit and demonstrating. Look, it's me, a little wooden podium. And yeah, it's just pretending that we're at a show, really. It would have been the NEC last weekend. Yeah. So come on in, welcome to the party, and let's get started. So the first thing we want to do, I'm sure it's already, it's 1 minute to. Come on then. Anybody there apart from me and Paul? Paul, are you there as well? Sound all good. Great to have your company. What would I do without Paul Church, eh? If you have any questions or if you're looking for anything, Paul is all over it. He will be able to give you the links. If there's anything you fancy, talk to Paul. And other than that, let's get started. Now, when we got together last Friday, there was much excitement about these reflection masks. So let's have a look at them. And then if we just have a look at the masks, you'll be familiar with some of them. Some of you won't know what on earth I'm talking about, but most of you will be familiar with them. If I show you, for example, a set of the masks, let's have a look here. Look, we've got lovely mask folders as well. This actually, joking aside, this is very good for protecting your masks. Keeps them in place. Look, you've got your index, which is what they come with. Now, in this particular set, this is the Woodland collection. So we've got 6 masks. These are reusable. So you've got 6 moon masks. They're invaluable. You've got the children. So when you look at these masks, for example, let me show you some of the artwork. Let's just take that mask, for example, and let's have a look at some of the beautiful artwork. This has been created using those 2 children there, you see. This has been created. This is using the backdrop, great big moon, and this mask here. See, so you've got the grass there. Look, it's clever stuff. So you've got the grass here, and then you've got the kids that you drop down. So there's 2 masks in one. It's very clever, this is. This is a backdrop stamp. What is a backdrop stamp, I heard you ask? Well, let me explain. So these backdrop stamps here, you see them, it's a bit dark now, it's gone dark outside. These backdrop stamps, they are what we use to create these fab backgrounds. Look, you see, and you can always tell when it's a backdrop stamp. See, this is one of these, this is the large one. See, because it's got that recess, like a rebate. And then you use ink, and we use, this is Distress Oxides, and you flick water at the, it's very clever. Anyway, so that's how those backgrounds are done. See, now that one there, that's another set of children. See, these kids here, now let's have a look if we've got other, there's more children, see, and there they are. This is a piece of artwork by Dee, isn't that beautiful? And look at the background, hold that thought, because here we have the mountains from the New Reflection set. So I just wanted to explain that this is this set here. So we'll fast forward. Oh, the deer. Oh, we can't go without showing you the deer. Right, the deer. So here's the deer. See? Now we're looking at designer paper now. So that's the deer mask. There's the children again on designer paper. There's the children again on other designer paper. Hold this thought. This is beautiful. Look at that one on designer paper. Did you notice I said designer paper, designer paper, designer? So tonight what we're doing is we're focusing on working on designer paper. So there's more masks, more moons. This one's called a landscape mask. So here, this is cool because on this one, what we've got here, we've got a castle, we've got rooftops, mountains, moons, more moons and clouds. So I've got a little bit of artwork, not loads. I don't know where all the artworks must be on the artboards. But you can see, for example, there's the castle. We're going to use that this evening. Then we've got the rooftops. That's lovely. Then we've got the castle and the rooftops and my dream boy, my favourite little boy. Right, see? So this is this set here. So these have been around for a little while, see, and they're reusable. More will be revealed on that front. Right, so let's take them out of the way. And now, this is the one that we're looking at today. Okay, so this is one we launched last week that went berserk. And the idea with this is pairs, you see. So don't get confused. There's a set on the website that's got all the reflections and the top and the bottom, if you like, in one set with the folder. Great price. You can get the upstairs images on their own and you can get the reflections on their own, but you need to get the bundle if you want to do upstairs and downstairs, or the left and the right. Okay, I think that some people may have ordered the wrong thing. So you can see in this set, for example, you've got the collection. You've got the landscape and reflection. See the little ampersand there? That's the key. So you've got two of them, 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 and two of them. And the way they work is they're always in reverse. It's very clever. Lisa did a fantastic job of these. Hats off to Lisa at work. So you see those two trees are there. Then on there, they're there. So there's a reason for that. If we look at, let's have a look at what we did last week. We used on Friday, where are those? We've got mountains, these ones, right, the poplar trees. So for example, this is what we got together to do on Friday, didn't we? So if you want to see how we did this is all done with a makeup sponge, these masks and some ink. It's cool, isn't it? T for top and B for bottom. Look, see the reflections? Yeah. So how are we doing here? Let's have a look. That is really what we're looking at today, is these reflection masks. That's where we want to focus, because what you'll have noticed was when we were working on them on Friday, we put them through their paces on white, always on white card, didn't we? We were working on white card, which is more difficult when you're working on designer paper. The background, these beautiful designer papers that we have, they give you so much, you're halfway there before you even start, right? So what I wanted to do today was, because the background is already there for you, I thought we could look into some of these designer papers, pick one and then use it strategically to create a beautiful scene or a landscape. So for example, if you look at this, yeah, have a look at that one. Now let's have a look at the new make that we want to do. this is one that Dee sent me, our Dee, and I looked at it and I thought, that is amazing, right? And what amazed me more than anything was the ducks. So I want to show you, let's just go to this camera. Let's have a look at the little ducks, let it focus. Look, see the little reflections? Just feast your eyes on that. Isn't that superb? So it's these little ducks that I'm looking at here. Right, that's what we want to do today, and I want to show you how we're going to mix up the masks a little bit. I might not worry about the people standing on the bridge, but if we get a chance, we're going to go to the castle. So it's really straightforward, but it's just, again, it's the sequence. In a way, this may be a little bit fiddly, although I've worked out a really easy way. I honestly, with the power of hindsight, I would say that this is probably harder than this, but that's up to you to decide that. All right, so now what we've got to do now is, before we start on this, I want to just take this one through, and I thought we'd have a little recap, but also I want to just take a look at finishing, because it's all very well, we do these big pieces of artwork, and then you think, right, now what am I going to do with it, you know? And so I thought we'd finish this one, and I'll give you a couple of options, or just present you with things that are maybe not just necessarily a card, right? There are other things that you can do with this kind of artwork. My daughter, Grace, in New York, first thing she said was, Mum, can I have that for my wall? And I thought, yes, Grace, you can have that for your wall. Let's put it in a frame or do something cute, really cool with it. So let me show you a couple of finishing tricks. If we, for example, I've got another one that I already trimmed back. You see, because this is one that I trimmed back. And you can see here, I'm not too concerned about chopping off the top of the reflection. It's made its point, hasn't it? We know that it's a reflection. And what I used around the outside, okay, I just used a really cheap one of these highlighters, like a pastel, just a nice green. They've got them all, they're cheap as chips, blues and pinks, and nice they are. I bought them when I was in Smiths with my mum recently. Anyway, so that's all I've done, is run that round the edge. It's very easy to do. Just put it down on there. Put that down and then chisel down the edge. Right, so now I've got that. Let's put the one that I haven't done to one side, and let's take this. So I've done that. We agree that that's sorted. Now, how are we going to present that? So at Clarity, we've got this stamp board, haven't we? And you're familiar with the stamp board because we've got lots of the different shapes. You know, remember the triangles, the bunting and the hearts and the squares and what have you? Well, due to popular demand, we started bringing it in larger frames and panels. Now, what I mean by frames and panels, this is, for example, a panel. This is a 9 by 9. And what we've got, let me show you, you'll see what I'm talking about. If I show you this one, you'll get it. So the way that we've done it, right, you can see, so you've got the frames on their own, you've got the panels on their own. So you see, the panels are great for artwork, for art boards, but remember they're stamp boards. So that means you can stamp on this, you can paint on this. This is like canvas except for ink. Beautiful. And paint. Right, so you've got, this is what you've got. You've got the panels, you've got the frames, or you've got the frames and panels together. Right, so you can buy them individually like that. I don't know why you would, unless you, I can understand buying that one on its own, but as soon as I want a frame, to be honest, I'd want that as well, I'd want the back as well. The only reason that I would want to buy this, I think, is if I were Linda Williams or a Parcher and I wanted to sandwich parchment between two frames to give it the translucency, you know, so that I can see light through it from the back. That would be, to me, that would make a lot of sense. Now we've got these in 12-inch, 9-inch, 6-inch and 4-inch. So these are stamp board. These are what you're looking for, is the stamp board frames and panels. Yeah. And so what I thought I would do is take that artwork, where did I put it? I was going to take this artwork and I thought I'd mount it for Grace on there, see? And I thought, well, looks nice, looks all right, but I think we can do better than that. So then I thought, right, 12 by 12, right? So we've got the big designer pads, haven't we? So the thing about these are they're 12 by 12, so, you know, not lovely and big. We bought these in to do the inserts in cards. So let's have a look. Now I'm going to pick a colour. That one's lovely. That one will work. And also the back of this one. Look, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Right, so 12 by 12. So fast forwarding, so I don't spend too long on this, I've already cut it to size. Right, okay. So we'll take that out of the way. That's going to sit on there like that. I've cut it to size, so there's a little bit of, just remember, we've got them in 12 by 12 and we've got them in 8 by 8. We've got that size as well. So it's the same card, just a number bigger, okay? Right, so put that there, put that there, put that there. Right, now, what we've got now is we've got the stamp board. So we could do that, and I'm going to stick that on there like so, and that's going to get attached there like that, and then that is going to go on there like that. Now that's starting to look like something I'd put on my wall. I like that a lot. So what are we going to do? How are we going to attach this to this? Enter the tape. So we talked about this morning, and I just want to show you how that works, because there was, oh look, see the back's lovely too, because it's double-sided design. Now, so you got to decide now, do you like that side? I really like that side, but to be honest, I think that side looks better like that. I think that sits better. It's my opinion, my humble opinion. I prefer that. So I'm going to sacrifice this top side, and this is going to be attached to the back. Now, when we were talking about this morning, I noticed, and I really get it, I know from experience, and I figured it out, with these glue runners, these are ours now, we've finally got them in. These are, like I said this morning, the Shack Shack, 30 metres long, so they're nearly 100 feet. It's got a flip top cover on it, which is great, so it means that you don't lose the lid. Super strong, permanent, easy grip, nice handle. Don't have to buy it as much because it's so long. It's good quality. It's good quality. One of the things that I want to say though is that it doesn't matter which one you're using, whether you're using our one or another one. What's important is that you go slowly. You have to give the dispenser time to roll around. And I showed you this morning what happens when you go fast. When you go fast, the dispenser doesn't have time to unravel the adhesive. And then what happens is, I'm just going to put a couple of in the middle here, just a minute. See, because I'm going too fast. Here we go. Right, slowly does it. And then if you go too fast, the adhesive doesn't come out of the dispenser and it gets all grunged up. So the trick is not to press too hard, because that doesn't help. Pressing hard won't help. And secondly, the other trick is to go slowly. And then you just click the lid back on like that, and happy days. Right, so now I've done that, then what I'm going to do now is just, let me come up, I need to come onto this camera, because I'm going to come right over the top. And I'm just going to do the 2-finger trick. So in other words, I hold it in 2 places, like that, and I'm just going to, because it's permanent ink, I've got to know that I'm in the right place before I lay it down. Let's have a look. Right, there we go. So now I know, because I went up to the edge there and I did a couple there, so I know that's going to sit nicely, right? So that's the first place. And then this is going to go again on the top. So this is a really easy, slowly catchy monkey. Right, I've watched demonstrators do this on telly, and I think maybe it's because they're running against the clock, but they whiz through with the dispenser and they go so fast. See, I'm even going too fast here. Slow down, Barbara, slow down. See, as soon as I slow down and I keep it straight, it's perfect. That's it. Right, so I've got my tape, put the lid on, turn it round. There's a tendency to go fast, especially when you're doing live TV, but it serves no purpose. See, so now that sits on there nicely. Okay, so now what I've got, and it didn't take long to do, I've got a nice piece of artwork. Look, see? Isn't that pretty? It's got a nice frame. It's very elegant. I could write a beautiful message on the back. Yeah. One thing that I do want to show you though, what would be really, really cool, really cool, and it's just something that Dave and Lisa have been working on. I want to show you this, right? Because they're on the back wall, and why wouldn't I show you? Stands, check it out, right? So we've got card stands, small, medium and large. And so if I take the large one, this is 9 inches, right? See, so these are brilliant. And I tell you why we've brought these in. Not so much for this, although it's brilliant for something like this. But you know, like Linda Williams' parchment, where she does It's a Wrap. You know those trifolds? They don't stand up very well. And often parchment, when it's all scalloped and picot cut around the edges, it doesn't sit on the counter so well. So we thought, wouldn't it make sense if we introduced a series of little card stands? They're really robust. They come flat packed. You can buy them individually, so you can get the little ones, the medium ones, 10 of each, or the large ones in a pack, or you can buy 5 of each in a tester pack just to give them a go, see if you like them first. So, for example, now I'll take my Gracie picture. Right, I'll show you from the side. So I folded it over like that, and then I'm going to pop that like that there. See, look, it's very robust. It's not going to go anywhere. Look, see, isn't it lovely? Nice. And for parchment art, you've got to make sure it's in the middle grey. Right, see, it's nice. And then you've got the smaller one, and then you've got the baby one for smaller art. And we're going to make a really big one. Dave and I were discussing it. We need another extra large one for the 12 by 12s. Because I tried a 12 by 12 on it. It works, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't. Nah. If I was doing a 12 by 12, let's just say, like I've got a piece here just to show you, this piece of artwork. This is a 12 by 12. If I was going to do that, I mean, it works. It does work. Look, you know. As long as the window's not open and the cat's not flying past, it'll be fine. But to be honest, at the moment, until we get it needs to be another 2 inches taller, the extra large one for the 12 by 12. I'd still go with the acrylic ones. See, I would. But these are wonderful for It's a Wraps and little pieces of artwork like that, because not everybody can drill a hole in the wall, can they? Hey? So anyway, that was that. That was me giving you a finishing demo and introducing you to our new little state-of-the-art stands. I know. I don't know how we didn't think of that before. So there you go, that's that. And now we can get on with the demonstration. Has everybody got everything they need? See, this is a nice one. Look, 9 by 9. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? D, see, stamp board. So she's taken the 9 by 9 stamp board. Then she's taken the little frame. Look at this. Check it out. Just to show you what the point is of all these frames and panels. So she's got the 9 by 9. She's painted that black. Then she's layered, just like I did. Then she's put a little 6 by 6 on there. Isn't that pretty? Look. And then she's got the aperture with the rebate. Isn't that a nice piece of artwork? I say, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, well, I'd be happy to put that on my sideboard. There we are. So I'm sure that if you're interested in those, Paul will be happy to give you the link, and I'll be happy for Paul to give you the link. And now, without further ado, I think we ought to start with our demonstration. That'll do. And do you know what? I don't care if this takes till 8:15. Are you worried if we're still here at 8:15? You got somewhere to go? You got an important date? Because I don't. I've already had my tea. Fish soup. Had to be eaten though. The Best Buy date was on the way out. Smoked mackerel. I thought, come on, stick that in some mushroom soup. It tastes like $1 million. You can make it sound a lot nicer than it is when you start dismantling it. Right, come on, Grace, stop larking about. These are the designer papers that I highly recommend. Okay, Amazonia, Waimea Falls, Toscana. These are really, look. When you're looking for backgrounds to do landscapes on, right, I'm telling you, these are the ones. Tuscany, Toscana, beautiful, just gorgeous, look. So tell me you can't see a sky in there and hills. When I designed them, I had these things in mind, you see. See if there's another one that you can, that's just under the sea, isn't it? That's an octopus territory there. But look at that one. You see what I'm getting at? So that's Toscana. Waimea Falls, it speaks volumes really. It's just there, it's screaming at you. Landscapes, look. Landscapes, landscapes, landscapes. Okay? That's beautiful. That's the one that Dee used, look. Isn't that lovely? So, oh, and there's another one. Oh, Barbara, you're never going to get to the job, are you? That one is the front page. There you go, look. I know. So that's Waimea Falls. And then Amazonia, I'm feeling quite perky for 7 o'clock at night. Right, beautiful. I love this one. I do. If I had to pick a favourite, I think I'd have to go with this one. Now, I'm pretty certain that this one here comes from this pack here. Let's have a look. I'm sure it does. God, it's pretty lovely. So there's so many different... Look at that one. Sky. Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. Now, here it is. Here it is. This is the one. And this is the one that we're using to make this artwork. There you go. It's there. See it? There's that. Look, just look for the mark there. There's the mark there. So there's your artwork. Look, you can see exactly. So the background is here. And you can see, right, squint a bit. Squint. You've got to squint. Go on, close your eyes a little bit, and you can see here's the water line, yeah? And here's where the children are sitting. Look, there's the child and the deer. Here's the water line, and that's where the deer are going to go along there. And then we're going to put the castle in the background. Right, are you ready? Good. I've already pulled one out. And here's another one, just in case I couldn't find that one. I know. It does have its advantages, running the company. So I'm going to take that one, like that. Let's move this out of the way. Isn't that a pretty one? You see, that's the only thing. If you look at that one, see, now I can see some fantastic landscapes in that one. But the frustrating thing is at the back, see, you've got the back and the front, double-sided. Not to worry, it's all in the name of art. Cool, I've just had a thought though. You know those frames? You know when I was saying, oh, you could do two-sided art, couldn't you? You know when I was saying, why would you buy the frame without the panel at the back? Well, you've got two sides, haven't you? So you could literally, you could have a frame. So you've got the art on that side and then you've got different art on that side. Just saying. Maybe it is later than you think. Right, let's have a look. So we're going to use that one and we need a piece of copy paper. Let's get our gear together so we do this together. Piece of copy paper, we need that. We're going to work on the stencils. So we need a couple of stencils. Yeah, I need the deer one. I need the deer one. So have you got that one? Get the deer one out. And then I need the children. I need those children. Because when you look at this here, right? This is one of the best things about this artwork by Dee. You're mixing and matching. See, that is there. So you can take the deer grass, but use it with the children. So we need that, we need that, we need a black ink pad. Let's get all your bits together. Black ink pad, makeup sponge. You've got some makeup sponges. Did you wash yours? I found a couple of clean ones. Woohoo! Somebody asked me to show you how to bunch up the mask, the sponge, so you don't get stripes. So we'll have a look at that as well in a minute. It's not hard, but there's a little trick, okay? So we'll do that as well. Depends on which makeup sponge you've got. Right, so we need that. Yeah, good to go. We'll start at the front and we'll work our way back, okay? So you want the deer first. Do you know what? I'm having a bit of a moment here. Let me take this cardigan off. It suddenly got hot. Because it's fresh, isn't it, when the sun goes in? Let me just take my cardi off. Okay, that's better. Whew. Right, you ready? So get your designer paper. We're going to work in this corner. Start in that corner. And we're going to use this mask. Look, I'll show you. If you can see it there. We're going to use the top part of this mask. Let's peel this bit off there. And this is that bit there, look. See? So if I show you like that, that's the piece there. That's the bit you want from there. So let's take that. Let's take our time. There's no rush, is there? So what we're going to do is go from there down to about, how far do we want to go? We don't want loads, do we? We just need enough room to put the kids in and the, what do I think? About, yeah, I reckon about that much. Probably if we cut a little bit off it would help, don't you think? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick that on there for a minute. Have you got access to a trimmer? Have you got access to a trimmer? Because I'm thinking that possibly it would make sense if we cut this back a little bit. Yeah, because this is a little bit long. Come on. If we're going to do this, let's do this properly. Have you got access to a trimmer? Knock out the bottom inch. Let's just at least lose that bottom inch. Yeah? I reckon. Let's just check out what we're doing here. Let's not get it wrong. I think, yeah, I reckon about that much, okay? Otherwise it's a little bit too, it's going to be too roomy. That'll do. While you're there, while you've got your trimmer in, look, let's knock out another inch off that side. See, this isn't wasted. That'll do, like that, that'll do. Right, these bits aren't wasted. I'm always using these to put little messages on, little white, you know, happy birthday, and you back it on that. So never throw those bits away. Invaluable. Everybody happy? Paul, you still there? I hope so. All right. Okay. Right, that's better. Now let's get our mask out. I bet that's a bit, I thought this is a little bit big. It's going to be huge. It takes forever to do this. Right, now I reckon that is going to sit like a treat. About, don't want to go too high up. That'll do. Right. Yeah? Good. So we've got a bit of copy paper in the back. And we've got, we want to protect this though, don't we? Do you remember last time? So what's a great idea is just to take another piece of copy paper. You cool with this? Right, just do this. Just tear 2 bits of copy paper in half. And then what we can do is just protect the artwork, can't we? So it's only so that, because in a minute we're going to start going at it with black ink. Right, and black ink is definitely the way to go with this, because that's it, like so. Because we're doing designer paper, you see, when we did this, when we did Gracie's piece, we used lovely light greens, didn't we? We were going in with these kind of ink, artistry inks, that's what we were using. Yeah? Because we're working on some quite dramatic colour here, black silhouette is really effective. It just looks so good. So let's take a makeup sponge and let's take black ink pad. Where's my black ink pad gone? Un momento. I did have it here. How could I not have a black ink pad? There's another one. Golden rule. Always have more than one hanging around. There it is. Right. So what you do is you push the inside like that, and then you hold it like a mushroom. See? So it's like a ball. That's it. And then I clench it. I've seen people put elastic bands around them at that point, you know, like little elastic bands, and then it holds it in place like a little mushroom. I find it quite easy just to hold it. Then there are other mushrooms. Then there are other sponges which are larger, see? And you just hold all the bits that would give you a stripe, and so that you're working with that area there. That's it. That'll do. Right, so now let's add ink into this area. And we're going to use our makeup sponge, and we're just going to, this is going to be solid black. So do you remember when we did this on Friday, I said never smear into the mask because it's so delicate that you'll spoil the mask, yeah? So this is where you go with the flow, if you like. You go with the cut. And it takes a little while. Now this is where you have to decide how black do you want it to be. If you want it black, then you just pound. Pounding will give you the darkest. But what's lovely, you see what I'm doing here? If you wanted to, you could get it really black around the outside, but you could leave a little bit of that designer paper just peeping through if you chose to. You don't have to, but I'm just saying that you could if you wanted to. And if you don't like it, you can always fill it in afterwards, can't you? But what's lovely, right, let's just have a look. So that's black archival we're using here. Okay, I've left a little bit of greyness in there just because I want to see what it looks like. Right, so there you go. So we've pounded our black into place, and then we'll take this away. Fabulous. So that's the first thing. We've got that already done. See? So it's not so bad, you know? Let's have a look. There we are. That's the first thing. So now we're going to add the children and the deer. So let's have a look. I think we're kind of dispelling the myth that just because this comes with the deer, we've got to use this in conjunction with that. This is not so. So now let's take this one, this mask. Got this one? And this time we'll take these children, that little girl, and then we'll use the deer. Right, here we go. So I'm just going to use the half of this mask. See, I'm using the outside because I want to create a silhouette, you see. So it's inking in here, isn't it? It's putting the ink inside. Does that make sense? I'm trying not to go too fast, but then I'm trying not to go too slow at the same time. Now what we're going to do is just, don't worry about those two. We don't need them. We just need these two. Hang on. This is where you have to just hold it. Just gently does it. Right, and then you sort of move it up, and then you decide where you want them to be. Right, so the deer feet and her feet, you see? You've got to get it right so that the deer sit. Let's have a look at the original so you can see. See, and the thing is, if it's a little bit, if there's a gap, then the easiest thing in the world is just to fill the gap. So don't worry about that. You're just going to make her feet a little bit longer, or her legs. So that's not even the problem. You just got to see where they're going to sit, where they're going to sit. Right, I'm not quite happy with that. So that'll give you a chance to find your space as well. I'm just trying to hold it in place. Let's have a look. I think I'm better off holding it at the top. If you're using them and they're new, do you remember I said to you last week, if they're new, then just tap them on your jeans lightly to detack them. I might detack mine a bit more. Yeah, and then it just stops it gripping. The longer you use them, the easier they get to use. So let's go again. Right, and this time, if they're levitating a little bit, I don't care. So I can always add their feet if I want to. Right, that's going to be about right. I reckon that'll do. That'll do. There you go, down she goes. There you go. Now they're in place, yeah? So we'll take a piece of copy paper. Just make sure that that's in place. Are you enjoying this? It's a process, you know. This is just a process. Right, so make sure just hold it up like that. Just make sure that that's protected. Then I tell you what is good as well, with little bits like that, just take a bit of masking tape. Don't fight it. Just look, do that. That'll do. Because we've got to get some ink in there, haven't we? And then we've got these two to cover up because we don't want them floating around. So we'll just cover them up like so. It's just a cover-up job. It really is. There you go. Sorted. So once I'm happy that I've definitely protected everything, I'm not too worried about that. I mean, saying that, right, I'm not going to deliberately, do you know what? I'm actually going to put another little bit of copy paper or something over that, because if I do start pounding, I'll get a black stripe on the black, won't I? I mean, these bits, when you're working with these reflection masks, with masks, you should just always have a few half sheets of paper kicking about. There you go, that'll do. Right, nice. Back to the drawing board. Okay, black sponge. Where's that one I was using before? Let's use that one again. I love this process, you see. I think it's so arty. And, you know, I've said it before. We're going to pound rather than smear. And we'll get a much cleaner edge. You know, for me, pound for pound, hour for hour, the mileage that you get out of these masks is wonderful, you know. And you can see while I'm doing this, whether you leave a little bit of light on the legs or not, that's entirely up to you. Can you see what I'm driving at? I can make the head really black. I could make the fawn with maybe a little light on the legs, or I can completely black it out, just completely black, right? And then when we lift it away, if we're a little bit off and there's a gap, we can either draw the grass in, we can go one way or the other. We can either draw the grass up to meet the legs, or we can draw the legs down to meet the grass. Let's see what we've got. Right, perfect. You got it? So who's working with me? Who's working with me? This is going to be interesting. I think there are... What do you think? Can I ask you a question? What do you think about these evening sessions? Are they something that you would welcome? There you go, there's a question. There's a question mark at the end of that sentence. Are they something that you would welcome or that you would enjoy? Something like doing something like this a little bit later in the evenings. I'm not saying we're going to give up the morning one. Look, doesn't that look lovely? It's good, isn't it? There you go. Simple, simple, simple. Really simple. I just wondered, you know, because now we're coming into the springtime and a lot of us, you know, they're opening up. We can get out a little bit more. Got to go back to work or get in the garden when the sun's shining. But then in the evenings, look, we could put that one in there. But then in the evenings, you know, do you want to sit in front of the telly? Or you want to hang out in the moment of clarity, having a little craft along every now and again. I mean, we wouldn't do it loads, you know, every week, but we could do it at least once a month, couldn't we? If you were up for it. I'm just cleaning that off. So I'm not worried about cleaning doesn't matter. Just what's important for me is that I relocate the mask so I know where to find it and I put it back in its folder. And then it's going to be there for a long time to come. Right, so let's have a look again. So we've done that one. That's lovely. Now those legs and that grass need a little bit of help. Look, I'll show you. Because he's levitating. See what I mean? But that doesn't matter. It just doesn't look quite right. So we've got choices. We get the black Micron pen, the one that we use in the Hack Shack. Right, let's get the number 1 pen. I've got all these. I've got everything out of the cupboard here. Right, 1. Here we go. Now I'm going to do a little mix of both. I'm going to bring the foot down, so he's got a bit of a longer And now I'm going to bring the grass up. There you go. So the grass up's quite bitty. That's easy. But we drew it to start with, so we know how that works. There you go. Bring the grass up, rather than making the legs too long. Otherwise it looks a bit too weird. There you go. Boom! Sorted. No one will ever know. Right, now, let's have a look at the original. Let's go back to the original. And you can see where the line is. See the line here? I've got a suggestion. You've got a pencil. Have you got a pencil? HB softer. Yeah? Now have a look here. You see, if you go up here, you can see the colour is giving you the line. It just gives us the line. So when we do the reflections, we've got something to go against. This is easy stuff, right? So have a look at this artwork. Have a look at this. Forget that one. And you can see it. It's there. It's screaming at you, right? So take your pencil. Let's do it with a pencil just to play it safe. We can pen it in afterwards. See, there's a little recess there where it's blue. Don't want to waste that. We can come along here. Look, see? Now it's coming out there a little bit, and then it goes back up and then it disappears. Right, so straight away, now we've got the bank on this side, and now we've got the bank on that side. Excellent. Next thing we need is the deer. Should we do a couple of the deer? And then when we've done the deer, we can do the, we'll do the deer and then we'll do the ducks. Okay? So the deer, when you go to get the deer, they're on this one. Look, I'll show you. That one. So we're going to look at the deer, and we need both of these. So I'm going to just take both of these sheets. I'm going to take the reflection masks, because we're going to need the ducks as well anyway, so we might as well do the lot. Once you get into this, it's very, very addictive. All right, so I've got the reflection mask there, and then I've got the extras. Have you got those? Okay. Right. Good. See, that's lovely too. I was just looking at what Dee's done there. So check this out. I know I digress, but this, you know, this is the opposite. So where we are using, for example, we're covering up the background because we've got the designer paper, and then we're infilling the people. So we're using the positive, if you like. Here, what Dee's done is she's taken the others, hasn't she? She's taken these bits, you see? She's taken those bits, let's say, like that, and she's covered them up. You see what I mean? So this is how, and then she's put the background in. So just to explain that you can use, it's a masking game, isn't it? It's a masking game. I told you, hours and hours of fun with these. I think I might make a little gallery, do you know, of Dee's and mine, our work, and show you the different, just a proper little gallery on the website. Where the product is, I'll get these images added so that you can study them and stare at them, because that's all you need really. I know what it's like when you get masks like this or stamps, then it's the composition aspect of it, isn't it? It's like, well, I can't remember and I need just an idea. Same as I do too, you know. I dry up often and then I look at Dee's work and I think, oh yeah, perfect, right? Or I'll do something and Dee will look at mine and go, yeah, good idea, you know. So we're here to share compositional ideas really. So I'll get these loaded, and you can have a look at them on the website. Right, now let's have a look. If we're going to use this deer here. Right, so we're going to take the reflection deer. Now let me take you got some tweezers, let's get this. Right, let's take the reflection deer. This is the reason I'm using the reflection deer is because it's pointing into the picture. Right, so I'm going to pop that one. Now, we don't want it too right on the water's edge, so let's pop it there like so. Actually, I'll bring it in like that, and then I haven't got to worry about masking off that side. See, like that. Right, that'll do. Let's do that one first, and we'll do another one here. Right, we'll just do a couple. You'll see what I mean. Now, exactly the same. We've got to cover. We did this, didn't we? We need to cover up our. So I've already got my little masks. For those of you who haven't, I'll show you how I do this. It's straightforward. So what we need, in order to cover up this area, we need to make a little aperture. What scissors have I got here? Oh no, they got all grunge all over them. Let me see if I can find a cleaner pair than that. Just a moment, I've got them everywhere. But the day you need them, you can't find them. Now where's those other ones? I've got loads of pairs of scissors, but these ones have got paint all over them, so that's no good. Right, I'm travelling now. I'm wandering around looking. I must have some somewhere. Come on, great. That'll do. They'll do. Right. Okay. Scissors. So what we'll do is we'll just make a little aperture. So I know that the aperture needs to be at that, right? And then I don't want it to make it too long. So I guess if I cut it to about there, right? That'll probably do it. Let's have a look. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then if it's like that, and then if I need to make it bigger, you can always make it bigger, but you can't make it smaller. Agreed? Fantastic. Yeah, because if I make it too long, then it's redundant, isn't it? Right, so now, okay, black ink pad. See, once you get in it, it's not hard, this. Right, black ink pad. Did you buy your grey one that I was bleating on about, your shadow grey? Well worth having. Well worth having. Right, make your mushroom, like so. Right, and then off we go. Oh, where's he going? All right, hold it tight. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, hold it tight. We're doing dead black. We're going real black. Silhouettes. Because we've got that lovely designer paper, it's nice to go, it's dramatic to do a really black silhouettes of the animals. Right, pounding, pounding, pounding. I tell you what, kids would love doing this as well. I know they would, because it's like magic. When you do that, take that away, lift that off, and there's your little, there's your stag. There's the old monarch of the Glen right there. So what I'll do is, because I've done with him now, I'm going to put him straight back on his, otherwise in a minute I'm just going to have so many of them floating around. So what I'll do is, while I'm there, I'm going to use this one next to him. So I'm going to do all the ones above the wall. I'm going to do all the upstairs ones and then do the reflections afterwards. It's just easier. So this one, I'm going to pop her there. I think she's a girl. Okay. Right. See, too big. No good. Have to make another one. That's okay. We'll make another one. I've already done it once, but I'm going to do it again just so that we can work together, you see. So now it needs to be, keep it a distance from that one. Right, that to that, that's going to be about right. And I reckon if I make it that big, I can always increase it. Let's give it a go. Thing is, it's only a bit of copy paper. Oh, I may have gone too long then. Right, and then once you've got this, you keep this with, yeah, wunderbar. You keep this with your masks, see? You don't sling it away. You don't have to keep doing this every time. You could, if you wanted to, make a little sign so you know which one goes for which hole, but that's pretty self-explanatory the minute you try and mask it, isn't it? Right, let's get this in place. Okay. There's another one. done. Lift that off. Perfect. So where's that one come from? So we'll put that back on there. So that one's from there, and that one's from there. So we're either using, see, this is what I was explaining on Friday. I'm using, whether you use the reflection upstairs and then the other one downstairs, it all depends on which way you want it facing. Just because it's the reflection, that doesn't mean it has to be the reflection. It doesn't have to be in the water. It can be the one above the water. It's you watch when we do the ducks, you'll go, ah, I get it. Because you'll be thinking, well, hang on a minute, I haven't got a duck facing in that direction. Oh, but you do. So then these two are going to come in the water. Look, watch how quickly we're building this up. Now we've got another pair there. And again, I'm going to use the reflection above. You see? I'm going to use this one above. So once once you start on this, it really isn't so hard, is it? You just get in the groove, especially because we've got our landline, so we know, don't we? Our landline, our water line. I don't want it to be don't want them too spaced out, but by the same token, you've got to give a little bit of a gap, because in a minute I'm going to need a space for my ducks. Right, that'll do. Okay. See, I think that'll do. I think it would be quite nice, like maybe once a month, to do a craft along and get all the bits and then have an evening session, or do what we've done this time and then maybe do it like a double up. So we meet on a Friday in Moment of Clarity, right? And we do our thing, we get the gear, and then we have another run at it, you see, the following week, like in the evening. To me, I've got to say, this isn't work. This is not work. And almost the psychology of it, because it's in the evening, it's even less like work for me, you know? Doesn't feel like work at all. In fact, I'm just on my own staring at a monkey that's strapped to a camera. But I know that loads of my friends are doing this with me, and I like that. I like that feeling, right? I like the sense that I'm not alone. Right, now, let's lift this one off. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, come on. This is just glorious. So I'll pop that one back there, like that, so I know where to find it if I need it. That'll do. Right, now, the next thing we need is in the water, we need the reflections, don't we? And I'm going to suggest that we actually do put these in now, right? Only because then we can do the ducks and we know that we're not going to clutter up the ducks with the deer, right? So now let's have a look. Whoa, hang on, this is a bit tackier than I like. Right, hang on, don't tear it though. I mean, that's one of the things about these masks. Go easy with them because they'll last you ages, but they do tear if you pull at them. You know, you've got to go easy. Right, I reckon that's going to be the perfect place. You just got to know where you... That'll do. Come on, Gray, commit. She definitely needs committing. How you doing? Happy? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Right, don't make the mistake I nearly made the other day. Make a conscious decision to remove your black ink pad from said surface and put your grey ink pad in said surface. Because suddenly I thought, crikey, he's dark. Of course he is. If you've only got a black ink pad, fine. But what you've got to do, if you've only got a black ink pad, is get rid of loads of ink. Don't ink it up. Do you know what I mean? Don't ink up just before you go to start pounding, because the reflection will be as black as and it's got to be a generation lighter, hasn't it? So that's why, in fact, I'm going to push the boat out and get another sponge too. So I'm going to put my black sponge with my black ink pad See, it's only because I've done it wrong. I know these, you know, the reason I know so much is because I've made so many mistakes. Right, ready? Okay. Right, so now we're going to be popping him into place. So let's have a look. Let's get the grey going. See, black works if it's really, really, really faded already. So don't feel, oh, well, I haven't got the grey, so I can't do it. Well, you can. You just, if you're using the black ink pad, just be sure that you've really pounded it to a lighter degree before you begin, because you can always add it, but you can't take it away, right? We could do Name That Tune again. We did that in the Shack Shack. I know if there are people watching that aren't familiar with us lot from the Shack Shack, they'll think we're absolutely mad. What, we? I mean me. Right, that looks good, doesn't it? Love it. Right, reflection. Okay, that's the first one. Sorted. And then this one is not that one, he's looking the wrong way. So then we'll go into the reflection mask, we take that one. See, once you get into it, it's easy. Now you just got to kind of put him in the same place, or her, in the same place as she is there, up there. See, a bit further closer to her. That'll do. Like so. Grey. Aperture. Cool. And then we're going to do the ducks. Right, ready? Right, name that tune. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Nice. See, and it doesn't matter how much ink I throw at this, it will only go grey, it won't go black. That's the key here. So lift it up. Look, isn't that nice? Bit darker though, see? Barbara fannying about, that's what happens. If you're happy and you know it, press. Look what I've done, stupid girl. Never mind. Right, is that the reflection? It is. Okay, so I take back, I retract what I say. Don't press so hard, because you can't take the colour away. Stupid girl. Right, so now, in with this one. Okay, and then once we've got them in, right, just make sure it's straight and not too dark this time. What I love about this though, it's only a bit of paper. It's not, you know, like pottery. The other day I was trying to do porcelain. That's trickier to throw porcelain. It's a bit different to stoneware. It's a bit rubbery. It's got a weird consistency, porcelain, and yeah. I ended up having to bin a bit of it really, because it just wasn't working. Well, we won't call it binning it, we're calling it recycling. That's the only comforting thing, is you can recycle. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, kind of blending it in a little bit. Right, so we've done that one, we've done that one, we've done that one, we've done that, and now it's time for the ducks, right? Let's have a look. Put them in there like that. And you happy with this? Right, so we need, right, first of all, put this and the grey sponge away. Put that to one side, and out with the dark one again. Right, we need the black one. Now we need the ducks. Okay, so this is a little bit of a fiddly job. We've only got 2 ducks. We've got a duck facing that way, or duck, and then we've got a duck facing that way, obviously, the reflection. Can you see them? They're really rinky-dink. So what we're going to do, right, I figured this out all by myself, because I was fiddling around with these little ducks, I thought, well, hang on a minute, how's Dee done this? because on her picture, they haven't got legs, but they've got legs here. So I thought, oh, all right, double masking trick. Okay, advanced class. Get your mask. Get rid of the duck in the middle. We only want this bit. Right, now watch. I'll take that one, and then we'll take the other one as well. So we need 2 ducks, like so. That'll do. Right, we've got one facing that way and one facing that way. Right, ready? Now get a bit of masking tape. Do one at a time, not together. That's all. Right, now decide. Have a look. Look, if it's like that, then it's only it's got like its head above water. This is the water. So we're going to hide its feet. So if it's going to sit on the water, how's it going to sit? Pretend that's the water. See, that way, I reckon it's almost like that, isn't it? Like that. With his little tail just hanging out a little bit. If you can see what I'm doing. Let's have a look. Look, see, I know. It's little things. Isn't it little things that give us pleasure? Yeah. And it's 8 o'clock and all is well. Right, so now we're going to take that one and then we're going to do the same thing on the other one. I think that's how I did it. Let's have a look. So same thing, because that's going to be the reflection. Get it? Good. Cool, that's that sorted. Right, so we've got our 2 ducks going. Have a look, because we've got them facing in different directions as well, but that's okay, because we can have one facing towards the kids and one facing like so. This one here, right? You ready? Just pick a duck up, and then that duck is going to sit. Right, get the water straight. The water is straight, isn't it? I mean, if look, you can't have a duck in the water like that. It would look pretty strange. So this is the straight water here. So we're going to get the duck in the water. Let's put it about there. Okay. I know. What's interesting is that this is a right fiddle. Come on, you need a little picture. You need a little aperture. Look, I've already done it. Need a little aperture for your duck. I know it's a fiddle, but this is the best part of the picture. And everybody that's looks at this picture has gone, how's she done the ducks? How's she done the ducks? I know, I had to investigate it myself. And it was because of the ducks that I decided we're doing this picture. Right, black ink, because it's the top duck. Me duck. So this is the black one. Right, black duck. So we've got one going that way. Right, now lift that off. See, keep it on the masking tape, it's a piece of cake. Look, duck. What did I tell you? Look, I know. Absolutely marvellous. Look. So let's do all the upstairs ducks first though. Now the thing is though, the other upstairs ducks are facing the other way, aren't they? I know. This is absolutely in keeping with what we were talking about in the, hang on a minute, let's make sure it's the right way around. Right, don't forget, straight water. This is your water. So you've got to, let's go from upstairs and then you can see it better. The water has to be straight, otherwise it would be too weird, like the duck cannot be. So where am I going to put this duck? There. They're in a little group together. It's a little duck group. Here we go, black again. This is exactly what we were talking about in the Shack this morning at 10 o'clock. The raw we, it was only me talking to myself. But what I was saying was, all the time you're focused on little things like this or the end of a pen. Look, I know! when you're focused on little things like this, it's absolutely, it's like, it's mental yoga because look, and this isn't hard, is it? Look, makeup sponge, mushroom, ink, check, and then pound. But all the time you're working on these little things, you're so focused that you're not even thinking about anything else. Check it out. I could make loads of them. And they haven't got legs. Look, see? They haven't got legs, even though the masks have. Top tip from Dee, this is. Absolutely bang on. It would never have occurred to me in a month of Sundays to knock the legs out. And that's why I love working with Dee. Dee Paramore is absolutely marvellous. Right, so now we're going to turn this round, okay, and this is the Wasser, right? Now I've got to figure out where the reflection is though, see? So now this is the reflection one, isn't it? Yeah. I'll just get me loo roll. I just want to blot the black. I reckon there's probably enough on there that you could just pound that in and get a reflection off what the excess ink on there. But I don't want to use black, see, because otherwise it would just look like a two-headed duck. Now, take that off there like so. Let's see if this works. This has got to be really light for this to work. Right, so use the mask. Get the... There you go, like that. Get your little... Am I on my own with you, Paul? Has everyone left the building? I wouldn't be surprised. Right, get the black off the table, off said table. Grey needed, very light. Right, let's see if this works. Yeah, come on. Very lightly. I reckon that if you do that and you pound it from the... I reckon you can get enough colour going. I just feel I don't want to screw it up. Shall we have a look? I'm going to check. It's pretty good, but I think I want to go in a bit more. Just because I can. Famous last words. Right, ready? And I need to come down a little bit. So I've got a little bit of a white line. Mind you, I could change that, you know that. Right, come on. Commit, Grey. Bit more. Okay, now let's have a look. Oh. There you go. And we have a duck with a reflection. Isn't that super? Brilliant. Let's get them in place now. We know what we're doing. So that's the only one looking in that direction. And then the other one's looking in the other direction. See, it's not so hard, is it? So I do that like that. Get that in there. Make sure it's in the right place. That'll do. Right. Protective cover. See, there are things to think about. Do you find this work hard? Do you find it hard? Let's see, I'm just pulling it in from the other side now. I think it requires focus. That's the thing, isn't it? It definitely requires focus. That's all it requires, really. Look, I love it. Look, it's cool, isn't it? And duck number 3. Right, in we go. Alle meine Entchen schwimmen auf dem See, schwimmen auf dem See, Köpfchen unter Wasser, Schwänzchen in die Höhe. Right. Wunderbar. Ding, 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 ding. And last time I did that, it came out too dark, so don't lark about, Grey. Little things give great pleasure, don't they? Look. See, now, the only thing that we need to do, look, is there's a little bit of ink work. So you're going to take your 05. Ah, Grey, how many pens can you... Pencil or 05. And then what we're going to do is just make Like, let's try it on a bit of scrap first. You know, like a squiggle, so it looks like water. Look, so you're just going to come out like that. There you go. Boom. And then come through the reflection a little bit. And then that little squiggle makes it look like proper water. There you go. See? Yeah, lovely. Now we're cooking with gas. Right, so do little squiggles. And then you'll see, water. Huh. Good, isn't it? That's it. And then along there, along here, all along here, right, let's go for it now. Come on. What's the time? 8:10 already. Oh, can't believe it. Can you? we can't meet again. Right, where their legs are just like little sticks like that. What you're going to do now is make little divots of grass. So you just go along. Can you do this? Can you just go along and just like as if you were, look, just jiggle along and do really sketchy grass. So you go dot, 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 sketch, sketch, sketch. Look, that's how we drew this to start with. Right, and then you just do that along the feet. Look, and then it just anchors them. Look, see? It's easy. And then all of a sudden, they don't look like they're levitating on stilts. And the later it gets, the worse she gets. Right, see? Nice, eh? And then, this is the landscapey bit. Look. So along here, do it up this end. Play it safe first. See, so you're going to come along here. Let me show you. But before you do that with pen, what you want to do is make a couple of little. Can you do this? Flick, 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 like grasses, like really, just like that. Just try it on a bit of scrap first. See, you just say to yourself in your head, go long, short, long. Well, that's a bit too not ridiculous, right? Long, long, short, long, short, long. Just it's like brain to hand, right? So what we're going to do is make 3 little like that. Look, little flicks. That's it. Do another one. Stay up this end. Keep it safe. Play it safe. 1, 2, 3, maybe like that. Then come along and do another one here. Like in the water, they're little reeds all along the edge. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then come along a bit further, like a little squiggle, like we did round the ducks, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make little tufts, and you'll see. Look, see how suddenly that edge is starting to make sense. That's all you're going to do, and so you can go all the way along. And you can make as many divots and little tufts of grass and, you know, all the way along here. You could go all the way along. Look, you could go all the way along here and not even worry about bringing them into the water. But I mean, and then as you come along here, for example, you could go along here and then go flick, 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 a bit further, flick, 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 flick. See? You can make little scribbles in the water. It's about having the confidence. What's the worst that can happen here, friends? Really? So when you're doing this, right, and you're going up like that, this is the best bit. So you've done that with your pen. Let's just pretend we've gone all the way along. Now, take your pencil. I'm going to go with me for fine pencil. And then we'll turn it round. And then of course, we need reflections, don't we? So where the tufts are, go lightly. Right, that's nice. There we go. And then you just give yourself the same. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's really easy. Look, see? Wherever you've done it above, just go and do a little bit down the bottom. When you turn it round, suddenly it looks like reflections, you see, all the way along. And Dee's gone in, look, there's a little rivulet going in there. It's fabulous, isn't it? Fabulous. There. And so as far as the hills go, again, you're going to take your pen and you can see how she's defined it. Right, and she's gone up here and she's just looking. Look, all you do is look at the colour. Look, up we go, like that. before I do that, I'm going to take the castle, right? I'm going to take the castle and I'm going to bring the castle down. Now, here's the question. Have we got time to do the castle? What do you think? Should we call it a day? Are you had enough yet? Is your neck aching? Are you happy with the ducks? Or shall we do the castle? We can always leave the castle to another day. Hey, what do you think? Or I could do a blog on the castle. Or we could just do it quickly because it doesn't take long. Yes, I'm glad you said that. Come on, there's nothing on the telly tonight, so we might as well do the castle. Right, castle it is. Get your castle out. Come on, we've all got to find our castle masks. So start looking. I might be late to the party. I can't even find the folders. Right, you enjoy the artwork while I look for the folder. Yeah, here it is. Right, okay. Is that the castle one? Yes, sir. Paul, did they say they want to stop? Oh, no. They didn't, did they? Come on, we're going to do the castle. Because what's brilliant about the castle, right, is I want to show you how to make it, because it's just a flat bit of plastic, right? But what I'm going to do is show you how to give it structure so you can see the turrets. It's dead easy. You just got to see it done. Right, okay. See, if I show you a light one, you see what I mean? See how suddenly it's got all the lines. So this is how you do the houses as well. It's well worth knowing this stuff if you're going to invest in these. So what I've done is I've taken the, let's take this bit here. That here, I say. Right, okay. So again, it's this bit I need, this bit here, yeah? What does that mean? No, they don't want to do the castle? Oh no, Paul, really? Well, I'm on my own then. Never mind. Let's do the castle anyway, Barbara. And if everybody leaves, this is lovely little, you know when you do yoga, you have to do a bit of downtime, don't you? You have to, how high do I want this castle to be? I'm going to put it there. When you've done your really intense workout, then you have to do a real soft stretching exercise. Right? So I'm just going to pop that there so that I don't put the, I could do this with paper as well if I wasn't being wasteful. I love this sort of artwork. I think it's just dynamite. It's really, really cool. You need one or two designer pads. You know, you do need a couple of designer pads so that you can start staring and you can see the hills. You can see exactly what I'm talking about, where the hill is coming down, right? So what we're going to do, go like that. Let's take that, right? Because I want to make sure that I don't kind of fly straight through that hill, because that's going to be where I want it to kind of stop a bit. Okay, so I just put it there and then I know. Now, black, we need the black again. We don't want to go too dark because otherwise it'll be so dark we won't be able to do the turret thing, the turret trick. Right, makeup sponge. Are you ready? Are you ready? Right, here we go. That looks a bit grey. Oh. That looks blacker. Okay, so we got that. Don't use that yet. I need a brush. Get a brush. Have you got one of these yet? Right, come on. I've got a blue one, but it doesn't matter. Black will do. Right. Load up your brush. Brush is a softer application. What we're going to do is bring the brush through here, like that. Right, here we go. And because of this here, because I know what I want to do here, I'm kind of being careful. So if I come in from the side, you'll see what I'm doing is, as I bring it up, I'm flicking up before I get there. I'm concentrating on the top bit, right? And I can see, look, see how high up I am here. I'm just trying to bring the colour in without destroying my hill thing that I've got going on here. Right, So I'm bringing up, flick, 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 flick. Right, a bit more ink, flick, 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 flick. Yeah, right, here we go. Right, okay. We could sweep that down a little bit on that side because it's going to disappear into the mist. Let's call it mist, not fog. Right. Right. This is a real little story emerging here. Castles and all sorts. Right, now take your ink pad, make your mushroom. We were still on the black. And let's just add a little bit of detail. So just to get those turrets in. Come in from the top for a minute. Let's have a look so we can see what we're doing. Yeah. Are you still with me on this? Yeah. It's going to look good. So let's pretend there's a moon here. Let's pretend, or there's a sun or something. The light's shining this way. So make sure it's going to be a little bit dark around the edge here, isn't it? Around the back. Around the back of the castle. Right. Okay. Okay, that'll do. Let's not overcook it, Gray. Now, for some reason, the left hand doesn't seem to be listening to the mouth. Okay. Now, let's take this. And this is where it gets good. So we're going to take our makeup sponge and make your mushroom again so you haven't got all your stripes. Ink it up. And we're going to make a line along here to get a... Where's that one? Just so you understand. Right here, see? We're going to make these lines so you can really see. Like, this is just a bit of plastic, and then by making these lines of light and shade, you bring buildings up, you take buildings back, you bring turrets forward, you drop turrets back. See how we can create depth? Really cool depth. And it's all done with a makeup sponge and a piece of paper. I'm giving away all my tricks. What am I going to do when you can all do it all? Oh. Right, ready? So then what we're going to do is just sweep that through, hold it tight, because in a minute you want to look. Yay! See? Don't want to overcook it. I reckon that's enough right there. See? And then we can come along, because there's loads of little turrets and divots, and you know, you've got Rapunzel hanging out the window, you've got King Arthur looking for Guinevere. It's all going on. Right, there we go. That'll be a nice one. Hold it tight, because you might not have enough blackness going on, and then you can't replace it. See, I haven't got a lot of black going on that one. I'm going to have to do a bit more. So I came in too dark to start. Oh, yeah, okay. And then I'm going to do really black up the back, like here. This is going to be really black. Sweep it through, and then that'll be the last of the turrets. There you go. See? Bit moody, but nice. Like me. Right, okay. Don't you say a word, Mr. Church. Right, now this time we're going to bring it in this side. Make it come to you. Is anybody here apart from me and you, Paul? We love it, don't we? Thing is, this would be great for Americans, really. I don't mean this artwork, I mean the time. Isn't it? Because it's... Yeah. Because it's there 4 or 5 hours. Now that's what I'm talking about. Do I want to do a bit more? Let's have a look. Just a tiny bit more. Yeah, for our American friends, this is probably an ideal time. Doesn't that look cool? Shall I do a little tiny bit there? Oh, come on then. Okay, hold that in place there, like that. And then just add a little tiny bit there. What do I think? See, I like that you can create something this effective with a makeup sponge and an old ink pad and a bit of torn paper. Da-dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Doesn't that look good? Right, lid on. Don't overcook it. And let's have a look. Shall we go for the big reveal? So I'll take that off. We put this there, didn't we, to cover up the bunting. Right, I cut mine. I cut my mask. If you're wondering, well, how come my mask didn't fall apart like hers? It was because I cut it. I should have said that. It's just a lot easier to fiddle. I just snipped it there and there, so I'm only dealing with this bit. Otherwise you've got all this going on. Is that what happened to you? I know, it's very frustrating. Listen, I've got to slow you down somehow. Right. Okay, so that helps a lot if you do that. I should have said that earlier. Sorry. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. On Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, let's have a look. Before I move it, oh yeah, no, that's good enough for me. Oh, doesn't that look lovely? Okay, there you are. On Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, I've got a TV show, mixed media TV show, really nice artwork, new set of stamps, you'll like them. And I'm bringing back some old sets, and we'll just put some other stamps and things through their paces. 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock on Hochanda. So if you're around, do join me. And then at 10:30 in the morning, we've got the Shack Shack, because it's our birthday. It's been a year. It's been a hell of a year, but it has been a year nonetheless. And so this weekend, we're gearing up for a real celebration. We might as well. We're not going anywhere else, so let's have a party. So we're going to have a real little ding dong. Okay, that'll do. And so at 10:30, it's a little bit later, the Shack, because because I'm on the telly at 10 till 10, and then again at 1. So it's 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock on Hochanda, and 10:30 in the Shack Shack with me. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you got something out of our reflections. Okay, I want to thank Dee from the bottom of my heart for her inspiration. She just makes my heart sing with her creativity, and there's loads of her art coming up as well on the Friday Hochanda shows, you know. And I want to thank Paul Church, of course, without whom this would be impossible to do, because he is my rock, and Dave, of course, I mustn't forget Dave. Dave is brilliant. Dave is making these, right? So I hope that you enjoyed that. If you haven't got your reflection masks, you don't know what you're missing. Just for the ducks. Just for the ducks. And I think I'll call it a day there. It's been 1.5 hours. Oh, doesn't time fly when you're having fun? I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm ready to call it a day. Thank you for joining me. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Dee. Lots of love. And I shall see you on the other side. Bye-bye now.